Morning, man. Tomorrow here. Thank you for like, sharing, comment, and subscribing to my channel. This morning on Premium Man Monday, we talk about the scale of use. Useful, useless. I will tell you right now, man, you're going to have to wield the scale of use the more you exercise your own power. Because when you exercise the scale of use is useful, you have to see everybody that comes into your life as a potential resource. Are they a drag on your process or progress? Are they useful or are they useless? We now know that the people who bragged on chasing women all this time were the helpers of feminism, and they were the ones who were waving her gains in front of your face to get you to exercise her will so that way they both can seem like they're better people than you. The only thing you had to do was give up your agency and follow their particular so called gains in order to do so. Again, there's no logical or reasonable explanation for anybody at this stage in time to be allying with this counterpart within this environment in any given way. There's no reason to. Actually, it's on their part to come to you to prove to you that they actually bring things to the table. That's the way things normally work. But you have to realize every situation that you get into, no matter what it is, has a scale of use to it. It's just that you're not recognizing it for some reason. But you have to realize you have to think like this. It's an actual behavior pattern. And if you were to ask these questions before you got into most things outside the pursuit of women, because we know that's fully on a waste of time because they don't have feminine women within this environment, you have to think like that. Every time I tune into something, is this a useful thing to me, or is this a useless thing to me? Or is this a drag on my progress or process? Again, everything with most black men in the actual system that we have here is mental. It's mental. And you have to recognize that as easily as you donned and got your way in here, you can actually get out of here just as quickly as you got in. But see, you have to be thinking and practicing the actual processes that's going to move you to the next stage and the next level. Because most of these people here who depend on you not being focused on what you need to be focused on, they actually can't wait for you not to be focused. But you have to recognize that all this stuff is a choice. It really is. The choice to invest in yourself, the choice to, when you go for a place to live, the choice of car that you drive, the choice of clothes that you wear. Are these things useful or useless to your actual path? Like I said, you always have to keep the pursuit of women out of this because we know that's useless. But I'm talking about everything else outside of that. Because we know most people, the only thing they practice is so that way they can get access to X. But have these people really showed you? I mean, truly showed you, beginning to end, how this stuff actually works? The answer is they can't and they won't. Because you have to realize that these people know by their own admission that this stuff is not going to help you. Remember, they're on the market just like you are. So how is it they don't have legislative control, but somehow they have individual accomplishments within the same system that doesn't value any one of you? Again, it's mental. But they can't wave this particular substance in front of your face, which is her victory in this marketplace, unless you're not on your actual mission. Your mission is not to please her. She's been gaining more and more power in this work environment at the detriment of yours. So you have to understand that you're operating at the behest of her agency, not your own. So that's what the scale of use is about. Useful, useless. Her scale of use, she just sit there, and the men who are useful to her is gonna come to her no matter what. And the man who's useless to her, she could just send all of you out to go attack him. Trust me, women understand the scale of use very well. But see, you have to understand it on the same level that they do. But I'm just saying the more practical things that they do to gain power is some things that you can do for yourself. You can't just be walking up to people expecting to get value out of them, because they're actually getting value out of you by you approaching some things that you shouldn't be approaching. And that's what sacrifice is about. Zero brought this up yesterday in a comment. People don't understand sacrifice. And most people in this environment don't respect sacrifice. You think any of those dudes who was talking all this stuff about CJ King, you think it got it in them to sit out 7 years of not really producing to get a very good gain out of it? Day after day, summer after summer, doing the things that you need to be successful? Most of the people who don't like that don't like it. Because you're not supposed to be using your actual mouthpiece for anything else except for bragging to, for, and about women. And if you're not doing that, they really don't see any need for you in this environment. Again, that's these guys bowing down to the feminism within the environment. Again, once you get a hold of this scale of use, full and less, because it's about precision moves to be made out here. Ones that you can explain. Ones that's going to be moving you forward. That's what it's about. That's what male agency is about. Sacrifice. Putting yourself far above the things that are far beneath you for a better tomorrow for yourself. And it's not that hard. The implementation is the only thing that is hard. It's because you're trying to keep the past and your future together. And it doesn't work that way. This is why I want you guys to understand the scale of use. Useful, useless. Thank you so much for listening. The Patreon got this early. Everybody else will get this Monday. On demand tomorrow. And you guys have a really nice day. Have a nice one.